you clicked on this video because you want to achieve a body like this. I'm going to put some images on the screen right now. You want to achieve these types of aesthetics, this type of aesthetic bodies, I mean. And I'm going to show you how you can get it in about a year in just a few steps. Keep watching. I'm going to show you how you can get this body. Okay, now these are steps I'm going to go through real quick. One is mental health. Okay, this is super important. I cannot stress this enough, how important mental health is, okay? So mental health and exercising actually go hand in hand, and because like exercising will elevate your moods. Thank you, Carl. That's only like a brief thing though. If you look it up, you can find more like studies. I'm not going to do the whole link down below your references. I'm not doing that shit, bro. Okay. Mental health. When when exercising, mental health and achieving a physique go hand in hand, right? But I still believe many young people still don't realize the importance of mental health and how it will not only improve all aspects of life, and this includes women, socializing, your grades and your career, but also will decrease how long it takes to achieve a physique. So improving your mental health will also decrease how long it takes to achieve this dream body that you want. Okay? Now, if you have a shitty mindset of I'm a skinny fat dude and I'm never gonna get there, then you're never gonna get there. Okay? You gotta have the mindset that you are angry. You are angry because you don't have this body that you want. Other guys your age will have such a more athletic, lean body. They get the women, they get the everything, right? They seem more confident, more masculine, and you want to be more like that, okay? You want to be more like that, then just keep listening, okay? So first thing is your mental health, and I'm going to link down below in the description of this video that there's a site you can actually go on. It's like the UK health website. If you just go onto that website and you just take the test, it will give you two scores. It will give you an anxiety score and it will give you a depression score, right? You're going to have to see after you take that test. It's only it doesn't take long. It only takes 5-10 minutes to do. Based off those two scores, it will give you advice on how you can improve your mental health from where you're at. Obviously, if it's very severe, it will have more serious instructions. Depending on what you get, those instructions will be different, right? So that's the first thing. Go on to the mental health website. I'm going to link it down below. It takes 5 minutes. And just do that, see where you're at for mental health. Okay. Second thing, exercising, which I'll get into. Obviously, if you want to have a body where it resembles that you have done lots of exercise, you're going to have to do lots of exercise, right? So this is your split. What is a workout split? So a workout split is how many days of the week you are working out for how long, pretty much. And basically what it means by split is what muscle groups are you working during that day. Okay, so some people might say, it's leg day, or it's arm day, or it's chest day. You will hear different terms if you have been doing your research into gym, or you have friends that do gym, they might refer to those terms. The split that has worked for me when I was starting out was the upper-lower split. What is the upper-lower split? The upper-lower split, okay, so just like what you would call a bro split, and then you have the push-pull legs, and then you have the all-body. This one, upper-lower, is basically what it says is your upper body one day, your lower body, which is your legs, the next day. Okay? What you're going to do is you're going to train your legs one day, okay? And then the next day, you're going to train your upper body. Why legs first? Well, legs boost testosterone when you train them. Ready for the next day to train whatever it is you want to train. What's good about this is that when you have that testosterone boost, Okay, and this is something that I kind of missed out on for a while, and I didn't know about for a while until I started integrating it. After I started integrating this, I actually did get a lot more results, okay? So, you're going to train lower body first, and then you're going to train upper body, right? What you're going to do, and I know this sounds really stupid because you came here to find out how to get this body, right? Okay? I'm not going to give you the specific workouts, but what you want to do is you want to look up muscle hypertrophy, okay? Or building muscle mass, right? What you're going to do, no matter what type of body you have, whether you be a hard gainer, skinny fat, or you're just, you have a lot of fat, you're a lot chubbier, okay? The first thing you're going to want to do is you just want to look up how to build muscle mass, and that's going to be your first stepping stone for this, okay? After mental health, of course. So you're going to do your research into a lower upper split, right? And you want to progressively overload throughout the weeks, okay? And what is progressive overload? So what progressive overload is if you have a gym or if you have weights, you're going to start off with like that weight, okay? So let's say, for example, bicep curls, right? You might start off with, 5 kilograms in each hand, right? Or you might start off with 3, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, when you do the bicep curl, let's say you try and go for 8 reps, the last 2 reps should feel really hard to do, okay? That is prime for muscle hypertrophy. It should be the last 2 reps that you perform that will feel really hard to do, right? Really hard to perform. What you're going to want to do is you want to pick a weight that is like that. So you can do 8 reps, okay, you get to 6, and then you get to 7, and then 8 is really hard to do. That is exactly what you want to choose. That is the weight that you want to choose. If you don't have weights, you can do it with body weight. How do you do it with body weight? Okay, so let's say, for example, you want to do push-ups, okay? If push-ups is too hard for you, you can start off on your knees. And if you're starting off on your knees, it's the same thing. You go 7, and then 8 is really hard to do. You want to keep on progressively overloading that throughout the weeks. Okay, so let's say you do 3 sets of push-ups, right? You want to do 8 reps. It's going to feel really hard for the first 2 sets. And you're going to have like a 1-minute rest in between each of these sets. And then the third set, what you want to do for the third set is you want to go to failure. So not just 8 reps, but you want to try and push yourself to 9 and 10, even 11, as many as you can, okay? Obviously, if the weight is way too light or the exercise is way too easy to do, you're going to do more reps than intended, and that's just going to train endurance. But you want to have that muscle burnout feeling, but not burnout like endurance, because that will be training endurance. We're trying to build muscle mass. So you want to train that minimal amount of reps, which is usually 8 to 10, instead of 20 or something, okay? So that's what you're going to want to do. You want to train muscle hypertrophy. That's what you're going to do for every exercise, okay? You're going to have 8 exercises, okay, for each day. So for 8 exercises for leg day, 8 exercises for upper body day. For leg day, you can look it up and build up your own regime, or you can just do a follow-along video for muscle mass. Just follow along with that video, body weight. That is where I started out, and that's what's really helped me. Otherwise, you can look up how to build muscle mass for upper body as well, or you can build up your own regime. But I really recommend that you just do one of the follow-along videos, and that is what, will help. That's what's going to progressively overload. That's what's going to help you build that muscle mass. Okay, I kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, progressive overload, that's what you're going to train. And over the few weeks, you might go from let's say, for example, 10 kilograms. The next week, you're going to be going you might be doing 10 kilograms, but the reps feel easier. Okay, and you want to document this, you want to write it down, or you want to type it out. It's going to feel easier the next week, and then next week it's kind of feeling a lot easier. You can do more reps, then you're going to put on more weight. You're going to put on a little bit more weight. So instead of 10 kilograms in each hand, you might go from 12 kilograms in each hand, and then you'll document that, and you'll keep going with that, okay? look up, follow along videos, follow along with them, do that first for muscle. Okay, now the next thing is diet. When I was first training, it was really hard for me to put on muscle. After a couple months of training really, really hard, I might put some images up of what I used to look like when I was first training. It took me a really long time to start putting on muscle, and that was because I completely disregarded diet, okay? You cannot disregard your diet. Diet is so important. And then I went on like a dirty bulk, and then I just ate like crazy. I had the mindset of, if I just eat whatever it is, if I just eat anything and everything, then I'll get bigger, okay? You will get bigger, but you'll put on a lot of fat, and this ended up in me trying to get my abs back, and it took me a really long time. If I just followed this diet that I'm about to give you, and it's nothing too crazy, it's just really basic, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna get into the diet. What you want to eat is you want to eat your vegetables, nuts, legumes for hormone regulation, okay? Now you might skip out, but spinach doesn't have that many carbs. It has like 0.1 grams of protein. All I want to eat is broccoli, chicken, and rice. That's kind of ridiculous. Not the broccoli part, but it is kind of ridiculous to think like that, because like these nuts, vegetables, like legumes, like stuff like kale, spinach, like chia seeds, almonds, Brazilian nuts, okay? All those types of like foods that you would usually like not really think about when you're trying to put on muscle is really important for your hormones. You want to have as much like testosterone and what other hormones is it called? Fuck, I forgot. But you kind of want them because that will help you and assist you. These vitamins and these like hormone regulation like foods will really help you not necessarily put on muscle. It won't be the amino acids that will go towards the muscle, but it will help you put together muscles, and it will help you regulate your hormones, it will help you sleep, and it all goes hand in hand to building this body, okay? It will help you lose fat as well because of like your hormones. Anyway, I'm not going to go too into detail about it. Please do not skip out on it. Don't be stupid like me and just eat like crazy, or don't be stupid like me and not eat at all. So you kind of have to eat clean if you want to have this body within a year. Next thing is protein. Now, a lot of people say, a gram per pound of body weight, right? Which is usually, I would agree with. That's what I followed with for a while, and it worked. But that was also because I'm a hard gainer. Obviously, if you're a bigger guy, you're going to be eating a lot more protein, and it's going to be very unnecessary. Like, you wouldn't need that much protein for a body that big because it's mostly like fat. No offense. Okay? So what you would want to aim for if you're a bigger guy is you would want to aim for around 100 to 120 grams of protein per day. Okay? When do you eat the protein? When do you eat these foods? It's basically you just want to eat it throughout the day, but something really important is eating carbohydrates around half an hour maximum before your workouts. Just carbohydrates, things like breads, pastas, potatoes are good things. Please do not substitute these foods for sugars, okay? Sugar is really, it's not gonna be as good as, obviously you can have some some fruits as well, but if you're just eating lollies before you work out, that's kind of, come on. You're just counteracting what you're trying to do, is build this body, right? You want to have these complicated carbs that will really fuel your muscles before you work out, okay? Okay, and then after you work out, you want to aim between 20 to 60 grams of protein. If you can't afford stuff like salmon, beef or stuff like that, or chicken, things that really help me, what really helped me was tuna. And a lot of people complain because, but it's disgusting. but the ratio will literally blow you away. It's like 20 grams of protein for like 90 cents Australian. So like for 90 cents, you can buy like 20 grams of protein, which is really good. Okay, so please pick that up. Pick up some canned tuna, and just use that after your workouts. You can like pair it with some eggs or some spinach. Make a meal, like a protein meal, after your workouts. And you want to have that around half an hour after your cool down, after your workout. So you really want to get that protein into you. Around half an hour maximum after your workouts. Once you get that protein into you, those amino acids are going to come into the muscles straight away, right after like it breaks down, and it will build up. It will build a bigger muscle. So like that's what you want to do. It's the eating part that really builds the muscle. Okay, next one is sleep. Now, if you're the type of kid that stays up playing video games on your phone like hours before you really go to sleep, please cut this out of your day. Please. Especially before you go to sleep. It is important that you get good quality amount of sleep. Good quality amount of sleep. Good quality sleep and a good amount of sleep. Especially for building this body. I'll tell you why. It's because it will regulate your hormones. It also will like help the muscle repair overnight. So if you're getting around 8 to 10 hours of sleep, that's how much you should be aiming for, okay? Especially if you're a teenager, okay? You want to be aiming for around 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. And I know that probably sounds difficult, especially if you're in school. But trust me, please make time to get this amount of sleep in. There is no sleep debt you can pay by taking naps throughout the day. Just try and get that amount of sleep when it's time to sleep. Get that amount of sleep. If you're not sleeping that well, I recommend just trying to be in complete darkness so your body is completely in that sleep state. So, you know, whether you have one of those like eye things or, you know, another thing for getting a good quality sleep is having your alarm, okay? Now, if you wake up around the same time every day and you don't really need an alarm, that is what we should all be aiming for. I should be aiming for that as well, admittedly. But you don't want to be relying on an alarm too much because you're shocking your body awake and it's actually not really good for you. So, yeah, please aim for good sleep. That will also help your like mental health. It all goes hand in hand. So please get a good amount of sleep and good quality sleep too. Okay, next thing I'm going to talk about is creatine and other supplements. Okay, so this includes like stuff like magnesium tablets, omega tablets, creatine, protein powders, and pre-workout, etc., etc. Okay, if you're new to working out, which I very much assume you are, please do not use supplements at least 6 months into training. Okay, so and the reason for this is you don't want your body to be relying on like stuff like pre-workout and creatine before you really start working out, because then your body's going to really rely on them, and as soon as you go without them, your body will completely deteriorate. Please, that's a bit dramatic, but please try and avoid using supplements at least 6 months in. This doesn't include protein powder though, because protein powder is like really helpful. It's not necessarily a supplement, more so like a dietary like. It's kind of like a replacement for food, okay? But yeah. Another like misconception about like creatine and pre-workout is they're like steroids or something, and it's not really natural. It is natural, okay? I do take creatine myself. It really does help. All it is, creatine is like found in meats and stuff. So if you're vegetarian, creatine is absolutely great. It helps athletes. There's a lot of benefits. Please look it up. There's like studies done about creatine and why you should take it. But remember not to take it until like 6 months into your like training, and then that will really benefit you. Okay. Another thing is pre-workout. Obviously you don't want to be taking like a serving of pre-workout before your workouts, like every single time you go train. Obviously your body's gonna become very dependent on pre-workout, and you don't want that to happen. I personally use pre-workout when I'm feeling a bit sick or I'm like injured one part of my body. Pre-workout tends to really help there. But yeah, you don't want your body to be like relying on pre-workout. Okay, so your next thing is, now this is gonna become a little bit more NSFW, but this one's really for like especially the younger teens. And I remember how I used to be like, I really didn't think this was important, but this one is really, really, really important. Nofap / semen retention. Now, if you're going to like start becoming fit, this one is really important. I cannot emphasize this one enough. Nofap is really important. If you're doing this like regularly, please stop. Please stop. Okay. And I'll tell you why. Is because there is so many benefits that you're holding yourself back from if you're not doing Nofap. Okay. So what do these include? So like the simple things that I'm just gonna cover, and you can go more into detail about this. If you just look up Nofap and its benefits, you will find so many benefits. This goes from like woman attraction. Oh, that got your attention. Woman attraction. So that you'll get like more attraction from women. You'll get more attraction from like everyone. You'll become more like socially like lively. You'll become more confident. Okay, just to name a few. You'll also get like I think it's like 170%. I'm not sure what it is. I'll show a screenshot up here. It's a percent of like testosterone increase, which will obviously help you in like building muscle as well. Over 7 days of like not doing it. Okay, so why you should do it for getting this body is because it keeps in all your nutrients. Of course, like when you release, you're going to be releasing a lot of like nutrients. You're going to be releasing the best of yourself, right? So it's going to be like releasing all this DNA. It's going to be releasing nutrients and vitamins. That's really important. Okay, so you want to keep in your nutrients. It will also keep your hormones regulated, and your body doesn't need to emphasize on like building up the sperm. So like if you're doing it all the time and you're exercising and you're eating well, you're actually keeping yourself away from your fullest potential. The reason why I say this is because when you're taking in all those nutrients, your body is trying to build up all that sperm again instead of like building the muscles, right? So if you're like releasing all the time, then it's going to be like trying to repair that instead of your muscles first. And of course, like let's think back to like, you know, ancient times, I guess, where like reproduction was the most important thing. So your body's gonna normally like prioritize putting the semen first before your actual muscles. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. Please, the more steps that you emphasize, the more steps that you actually take on board, the quicker you're gonna get this body. Okay, so you can get this body even if you look like this. I'm gonna put up a few images of just like a few people, few teenagers that have gone from like one body to the other, and I'll post my transformation up if you really want. And yeah, this is all natural too, so I'm just gonna put up a few images for inspiration. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you, and I hope this video has informed you about like really getting an aesthetic body. Okay, implement these steps. I promise you will be very proud of the body that you will get.